Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing...
In this bulletin, former police director acquitted. Local developers step up. And tenancy issues persist.
From the studios of FBC Suva.
Former Police Director of Internal Affairs Mohammed Talib Khan has been acquitted by the Suva Magistrates Court. Khan was charged with one count of abuse of office last year. It was alleged that in April 2017, the accused, as the acting superintendent of police, directed the unlawful arrest and detention of an individual. The defense had made a no case to answer submission. The magistrate yesterday ruled that the evidence was not reliable and therefore there is no case to answer. There's been a lot of local developments in terms of construction in the past few months. The Construction Industry Council says this is a positive sign for the economy, as they've also noticed an increase in local investment. President Gordon Jenkins says with good concessions from government, people are putting it to good use.
It is very clear that a lot of people are probably, local people are doing development that they didn't intend to do. But because they've been getting a good concession, they've gone ahead and done it. You know, another thing about it is in times like this, the price falls as well. The cost of building a house today is less than it was last year.
The Consumer Council of Fiji is baffled by continued increases in landlord tenancy complaints. 2,250 complaints with over $500,000 have been recorded over 6 years. The council has received 120 complaints since January with a momentary value of close to $40,000. Jeshu Lal reports.
The consumer watchdog says it's high time that landlords clean up their act.
Council has received a lot of complaints whereby the landlords have increased their rents, and in many instances landlords have been called in and advised, and there are landlords who actually retracted the increased amount.
The council as an advocacy organization is conducting vigorous advocacy on this particular issue on landlord and tenancy, so that all the landlords out there, they are aware of what laws and regulations they have to abide by and what are the rights of the tenants, and we are making sure that they do not violate these rights of their tenants as well.
Shandil says despite continuous awareness on the responsibilities of landlords along with numerous warnings, issues have consistently popped up over the years.
However, what we feel is what we are receiving, the number of complaints that we are receiving or any other enforcement agencies are receiving is just the tip of iceberg. There are so many others who are suffering in silence. They are being bullied, but if they are not coming out, they're not being assertive and coming out with their complaints with the fear of being evicted, and you know how difficult it is nowadays to look for flats.
Tenants are also advised that they have a responsibility to ensure there is an agreement and that they work within the ambits of this contract. When vacating, they must ensure they leave the premises in the same condition as when they moved in. Jeshu Lal, FBC News.
The overall cases of leptospirosis, typhoid, dengue and diarrhea is decreasing, says Minister for Health Dr. Iferemi Wanganambete. Following Tropical Cyclone Yasa and Ana, the ministry recorded over 5,404 cases of LTD, and of this there were 16 deaths. The Minister for Health confirms there were 13 deaths due to leptospirosis, 2 dengue fever-related deaths and 1 death due to typhoid. Dr. Wanganambete says the ministry had been positioning itself to combat the spread of LTD.
The first 2 months it picked up and then it actually dropped off. And it's dropped off, it's been dropping for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So that's great news. Also the weather has helped. We've had a spate of fine weather. And places have actually dried up, the water tables have dropped. Creeks and drains that were flooded have actually receded down.
Health professionals are facing challenges with the late presentation of patients suffering from various types of heart diseases. Oceania Hospital interventional cardiologist Dr. Prakash Gore says most patients are unaware that they have a disease. Dr. Gore says they have received a lot of cases and are concerned with the lack of awareness. Kritika Kumar reports.
The interventional cardiologist says there is a lack of awareness, and by the time patients visit the hospital, it's often too late.
Everyone should be aware of what actually the heart disease is, what are the symptoms, and they should not neglect it or overlook it and present themselves to the GPs or whatever clinical facilities or the first medical contact they have.
He adds that limited resources are another challenge they are facing.
The logistics is an issue, but we are doing good, I think. We are having enough of cases. We are doing emergency cases. We are doing complex angioplasties here. We are doing renal angioplasties here. So this is good.
CWM Hospital cardiologist Dr. Shahin Nusser says poor lifestyle choices are the common reasons young Fijians are diagnosed with heart diseases.
The behavioral habits that you do will influence the acceleration rate of the disease process.
Oceania Hospitals Limited today conducted its continuous medical education session to ensure practitioners are well informed about heart diseases. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Libraries in secondary schools around Vanua level will get a boost with donations from the Fijian National University Students Association. The association has been distributing high school level library books in Viti level since 2017. With most schools affected by TC, Yasa and ANA, the Student Association saw it fit to bring the book drive to the Northern Division. Minister for Education Rosie Akbar says they partnered with the association to ensure that affected schools get the books they need.
We have also contributed reference textbooks to your book drive, and these will be distributed to all the schools, secondary schools in the north this week. And of course, the drive will continue to the eastern, western as we go along.
Tambia Sanatan College outside Lambasa town was the first to receive their books. Stage set for schools rugby league semi-finals. And Mother's Dream run continues. Stay with us.
Oira na ngwane no de nunu enda be singe ni mataka.
Mersu sunga da kena loma dina kena me karon.
Sakena ngau na mitaro bina no na baksa ngai ka wala loma takina ngwane. Dalabina oya o meliki.
Bulre oya o Samuel Samuli.
Nama kikira enda be mataka.
Boniti kina makarombuka.
Ni waitini kalima na miniti me ono kina tiri na kaloko. Ena Radio Fiji One nandomo ibiti.
Pinda pinda na mataka. Dandra paina singabo.
For the first time ever in the Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League history, 2 women teams will feature in the grand final. The 2 teams will consist of players representing the Western and Eastern zones respectively. General Secretary Daniela Vakamode says this is a big step towards nurturing future national stars.
It will be a bigger boost for all our female students who will be part of that competition, as it will be a pathway towards the KBT Syndicates Elite program.
Mode has continued its unbeaten run in Easter Cricket Championship and is one of the favourites to win the title. The side defeated Onieta yesterday by 49 runs in the quarterfinal at Albert Park in Suva. Aquila Damo with more details.
The journey continues for Mode, and their clean record shows they mean business.
I believe our performances so far clearly shows what we are capable of and what our intentions are. We have survived the pool games and quarterfinal unbeaten.
One of the upcoming players who helped them today is a young man from Teilevu.
I need to improve in my fielding as it was not good today, and I have to be on top of my game in the semi-final tomorrow. Even though I'm from Teilevu, I'm just glad to be part of this team as a bowler.
Mode will take on Suva Warriors at 11 a.m. tomorrow in the semi-final. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
5 new clubs have registered with the Suva Netball Association this season. Clubs such as New Town and Delenavesi have decided to join SUVA. The new clubs have teamed up with the biggest association in the country at the right time after SUVA Netball officially struck a deal with New World IGA as the official sponsor for the club competition. Association Secretary Domenico Tambaura says the sponsorship is a timely one as they prepare to kickstart the season on Saturday.
In the sense that some of the cost component for running event is very expensive, and one of the most component in our cost is the hiring of the National Netball Center. It takes about 10,000 for a season. So with this sponsorship, I think most of this money will go towards the hiring of the courts.
FMF Foods Limited has hopped on board as the official sponsors for the Victorian Sevens and the Nukuvuto Zone competitions in May. The two separate events will take place at different venues next month, with the Victorian Sevens as a one-day tournament at Nukuvuto grounds, while the Nukuvuto Zone competition will run for the next 3 months at Natovu ground in Teilevu. As part of its corporate social responsibility, FMF took the first step to reach out to the people of Teilevu to improve their living standards through rugby.
Having sevens tournament from the Suva to the Rakiraki corridor and the whole of Honolulu, and this part of Fiji is untouched. There was hardly any sevens tournament from Korobo towards Dawasamu.
Cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and interior Viti Levu and Vanua Levu, mainly fine. Elsewhere, moderate southeast winds. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।